do you expect from Indonesia? This reaction I got a lot. What? You go to Indonesia? This is just a small country. Like, they underestimate Indonesia a lot.
Meet Dasha, aka Bule Barbie, a German-Russian influencer with millions of followers on YouTube who's been living in Indonesia for 3 years. Dasha shared the biggest misconceptions about Indonesia globally, how life in Bali differs from life in Bandung, and why learning Bahasa Indonesia is important for every foreigner. I'm Max Chernov, your insider to Expat Life. Ayo pergi!
Did you know anything about Indonesia before moving here?
It's hot, many mosquitoes, that's it. So I just knew about Bali.
Yeah.
And this is one thing. But I never had the future plans to move to Indonesia. It was very spontaneous. And I would not think I'm gonna sit here in Bali and just being here, I will never think about that. So when I told my friends that I'm gonna move to Indonesia, they were like, what? You moved to Indonesia? Like,
yeah.
They don't take Indonesia serious. And it's kind of makes me sad because they think like Indonesia is a small country, it's not very popular, and they don't know anything like about Indonesia except Bali. Also, when I told my friends that I'm moving to Bandung, not Bali, they were like, Bandung? What is Bandung? Like, do you really think in Bandung you can be like, what do you expect from Indonesia? This reaction I got a lot. Also, like some old friends, what? You go to Indonesia? This is just a small country. Like, they underestimate Indonesia a lot. They just think about Bali, but I think Indonesia is such a huge, big country, and there are many good places, like not only Bali, but there are also like Lombok, so many good places like Jogja. I was also visiting Jogja, and they're all beautiful.
Have you been to Asia before moving to Indonesia?
No.
So first time,
Yeah,
and
first
right
time.
away to Indonesia. What was your first impression? So did you have any cultural shocks?
Maybe Maxim, do you know the toilet? Like this, how to say? We call it Jongkok toilet.
Just a hole in the
Exactly.
in the floor.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So in German, I never had this experience to
Yeah.
go to the restroom, a hole in the toilet. Like, what is that? And also that we don't.
But this is
use-
pretty convenient, actually, I would say.
Yeah, in China
Yeah.
also.
Especially in the public places. I prefer the hole like in the floor toilet.
Yeah, because it's more how to say.
You don't want to
More-
sit on the.
Yeah. Also, that we use the shower, the little shower, not toilet paper. And in Germany, I never think about it that it's more hygienic
More
if you use
hygienic, yeah.
water. Yeah.
Exactly.
When I came to Bandung, it was also like a big culture shock for me that there are no sidewalk. And we in Germany, we used to walk a lot. It was also like a big culture shock when you ask your Indonesian friend, oh, let's go take a walk. No, let's
work.
use motorbike. But I think no problem if you live in specific areas, no problem. I think on the motorbike is actually very fun. For example, like in the night, if you're driving with your friends, I mean, it's very fun.
Yeah. Do you ride the bike?
No, I cannot ride a bike.
But this Go Jack is like super easy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
super convenient.
Super convenient, yeah. I mean, if you don't mind like riding as a pillion on a bike, it's fine.
And also culture shock. Actually, the friendliness. Because it's kind of weird when people are always smiling. Because I'm from Germany, and we in Germany, we used to have a very serious face, very business-oriented.
Oriented
Oriented.
approach, yeah.
And if you see people smiling around the whole time, like they cannot stop, you feel like, are they fake or is it real? Like, are they really that positive?
So something is wrong. Why you always like smiling?
Yeah, that was the first culture shock. And maybe also the motorbikes, because in Germany we didn't have like so many motorbikes.
Yeah.
And I never been to Asia before. And of course the cockroaches and the all insects, no in Germany, so it was also a culture shock.
For me also, like I traveled quite a bit in Indonesia, but like last year we went to Jogja, Yogyakarta.
Yeah.
And like people don't really speak English, but everyone is so nice. They try to help. They genuinely try to like talk to you, even if they don't like speak like much English. They're so sweet. I think Indonesia is one of the sweetest people in Asia.
Agree.
Yeah. And you learn Bahasa Indonesia when you moved to Indonesia first time, and then
Yeah.
you just decided, okay, I wanna learn the language.
Not really. It was actually forced to, because if you don't have many foreigners there, you don't have somebody to communicate in English, right? Because in Bandung, mostly the local people don't have the practice to speak English. So you must learn Indonesian to communicate with them. So you need to learn Indonesian language to build friendships and so on.
So for you now, like speaking in Bahasa Indonesia is like easy, so you're fluent?
Yeah, it's very easy.
So even like easier than speaking in English?
I think both, but
both,
I think
both is
Indonesian more. Because I'm living here for 3 years and I was never in England or America or some countries where you have to speak English. So yeah. Indonesian is more better.
Oh, that's so cool. How people react when you like, because you're blonde, you look different from majority of people, especially in Bandung. In Bali, it's okay,
Yeah.
but back there maybe not. How people react when you start like speaking in Bahasa?
They're shocked.
Yeah.
Even there are like some funny stories. Even I just ordered Gojek. Like Gojek is an application to order motorbike or taxi.
Yeah.
And you texting with them in Indonesian, like very fluent, very local, using the local language, the slang words, I would say. And then they arrive with the motorbike, like, wait, you're a foreigner? So they didn't expect like a foreigner to speak Indonesian, and also they're very proud that a foreigner can speak their language. So
Right.
mostly this is the reaction.
Can you say in Indonesian why you love this country?
Aku bener-bener suka banget sama Indonesia karena ya seperti aku udah bilang pakai bahasa Inggris, aku suka banget karena orang-orangnya ramah banget, terus makanannya juga enak-enak semua, tempatnya juga bagus dan banyak pulau, bener-bener banyak pantai, semuanya sempurna. When you learn the Indonesian language and you also learn the bad words, I think Indonesian people find it so funny. For example, like anjing.
Yeah.
It means actually dog, but it's a bad word in Indonesian. So if you say like, "Hey anjing," Indonesian people will laugh because it's a bad word.
Now you're a celebrity, so they probably treat you differently. But let's say if someone doesn't know that you have social media following, European girl, but you speak Indonesian, you think they treat you like in different way versus how they would treat like their local friends?
Yeah. I think of course maybe not in Bali, but in other cities like Jakarta or anywhere else. Even before, when I just moved to Bandung, because I didn't move to Bali, right? I moved to Bandung and I was not famous at all, but still people treat you very nicely. Even you cannot speak Indonesian, you speak with them English, but they treat you very nice, very welcome, with hospitality. And even some people on the street asking you for pictures. I think even you cannot speak Indonesian, but the fact that you are in some small cities in Indonesia, for example like Garut or Semarang, they treat you just different.
Do you know any stereotypes about foreigners from Indonesians? Like what normally Indonesians think about foreigners? There is a special word, for foreigners here.
Bule.
Bule.
Yeah. I think the first stereotype is that foreigners don't go shower.
Foreigners don't go shower?
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
So
interesting.
Because most Indonesian people, they go shower like 5 times in a day.
Oh, okay.
So when they see a foreigner, they think that their armpits are stinky. This is the first stereotype. And the second stereotype is that all white people are rich. But I think it's a common thing. But yeah, we have to say the truth, not all white people are rich, even if they come to Indonesia.
And like bule, it has a positive connotation or negative, or it's neutral, like the word itself?
I think it just means like foreigner, white foreigners.
Yeah, just white foreigner.
Yeah, just white foreigner. I think people from other Asian countries, they will not call bule, but just European white people, bule.
Yeah. What's the biggest difference for you, like the life here in Bali versus Bandung?
To be honest, of course the expenses are different. In Bali, it's double expensive than Bandung, of course. Also in Bandung, it's much more colder, so if you like to go outside and you don't want to get sunburned, I think Bandung is a very good place. Also, I would say that in Bandung, I would not recommend to wear open clothes because mostly people are there
like
religious, very religious, so I would not recommend like a tank top with shorts. I would just not recommend.
This would be appropriate?
Oh, this would be still
okay.
This
would be fine, yeah.
Yeah, this was okay, but I mean like very...
Not like, the top, like a lot of girls in Bali, just top and that's it,
Bikini and shorts.
Yeah.
Yeah, people will accept, but it's not very polite, I would say.
Yeah.
Also, I think in Bandung, people are more nicer to foreigners, kinda,
Okay.
maybe, because in Bandung, there are not many foreigners, right?
Yeah.
And we know in Bali, there are a lot of foreigners also that making a lot of trouble in Bali.
Correct.
So the local people are also kinda annoyed from the foreigners that making so much trouble in Bali. So just because there are not many foreigners in Bandung and they don't make much trouble, so they are treating foreigners a bit nicer.
Did you feel safe in Bandung, like as a young girl? Is it like normally safe, you think?
Very safe.
Yeah.
To be honest, not like in Bali. To be honest, in Bandung it's so safe. Literally, I could go out alone. People are just so respectful, and it's kind of different like in Bali. In Bali, it's many clubs and many people who taking drugs or drinking alcohol. In Bandung, nothing like that. So
Yeah.
clubs are also not very popular in Bandung. So me as a girl, me as a woman in Bandung, I feel so safe. Here in Bali, I have to have my mom or my sister, somebody who accompany me like
Yeah.
anywhere.
So you mentioned that your outfit should like fit the norm of society. What else you're not supposed to do like Indonesia as a foreigner? What you don't want to do?
Don't tell people straight to their face that you don't like them, or don't tell them just straight to their face or shout at them, because most Indonesian people, they're like very, very friendly, very nice. And even Indonesian people, if they would not like you, they will never tell you straight into your face that they don't like you. They would rather gossip with their friends about you, but never tell you straight. So if you as a foreigner, we in Germany, we used to shout at people or like, you did this wrong, like very straight to their face.
Yeah.
And Asian people are very sensitive about that, so rather you just let it be. And this is the first thing.
But is there the way to explain them if you don't like, I don't know, the service or something? Is there a way, the polite way to explain that you're kind of not happy with what's going on?
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah.
You can just point it out like in a very nice way.
Yeah.
But if you're getting, how to say, very angry, they will leave. Just be respectful, have tolerant, like being tolerant, and yeah, that's it. And people will accept you like the way you are.
Do you think Indonesians are emotional people?
Very,
Yeah.
very. To compare to German people who are very strict, serious face, and mostly, even a relationship in Germany, if you build a relationship with a German guy, they're not very romantic in that kind of way, and German guys are, just be honest, like German guys are not very romantic in that way.
Yeah.
So Indonesian guys, or Indonesian people in general, they're very emotional. So if you are sick, they will try to help you, they will have pity on you. In Germany, if you're sick, okay, but you didn't come to work, I will fire you.
Does it work like, let's say, relationships between the local Indonesian guy and a foreign girl?
I think yes, of course.
Yeah?
I think so, because especially German, I don't know about Russian, but I think also Russian, because Russian people have also like this tradition that the woman is at home and is raising the kids and the man goes to work. I think in Russia, yes, but in Germany, it's different. German guys likes to have an independent woman which is working, which is not really raising the kids. So the relationship between the kid and the mom is not very close. As in Indonesia, I have to say that Indonesian mom and their child have a very good relationship. In Germany, it's not very common. And also like in German guys, they love to have a woman, as I said, independent and is working, hardworking, and is on their own. And the German girls, they say, for example, that they don't want flowers or they don't want this kind of relationship. But in the end of the day, if there's an Indonesian guy who is treating them like very traditional, the German woman will fall in love with the Indonesian. Because deep inside, all women, even German women who are very independent, who are very hardworking, they want to have a man who is loving, caring, and goes to work.
So you started your social media career here in Indonesia? Yeah.
At first, I didn't create content. I was a freelance model. I was very young at that time, and how to say, my mom forced me to make my Instagram account because my Instagram account was private, and I felt like so insecure and so many. I had many insecurities, and my mom told me I should make like a hashtag model on my picture. And I was just like, no, my high school friends, they will tell me, no, she's so arrogant, what else? And I just did it. I just listened to my mom and I just did it, and I got my first booking in Indonesia, in Bandung, and I shoot like as a model. And then people started to book me like as a model, as a freelance model. But I didn't make content because I could not speak Indonesian. And also for modeling, you don't have to talk, right? So I didn't learn Indonesian at first at all. So I was just like posing, that's it. But after the time, they were like many friends, they say like, yeah, just start to make TikTok. I think it will be very cool. And I was just like, okay, I will start. And I started to make content like for 3 months. And I didn't get many subscribers, but after the time I was making interview outside, I was just asking people, yeah, what do you think about foreigners, or what do you think about marriage with foreigners people? And it was my first video that goes viral, got hype.
You probably recognized on the street like every day.
Yeah.
Yeah. If they come to say hi, they want selfie or they want just to say hi, how people react when they see you?
They will say either Bule Barbie or Bule Bonteng. Basically, Bule Barbie, it's a name like Bule, foreigner, and Barbie is like, yeah. And why I have this name, it was not my idea actually, this Bule Barbie. But the kids in Bandung, especially like small kids, because there are no foreigners, they were just like, Bule Barbie, you look like a Barbie. And I was just like, Bule Barbie, maybe it's a good name.
It makes sense, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, because you know a lot about content creation, what would be your advice for someone who wants to become like popular, famous like you?
First, depends on where you want to be famous and like in what sphere do you want to be famous. Like you need to know what kind of audience you need to reach. So either you want to reach like children, or you want to have people who are interested in education, or you want to have Gen Z as your audience. So you need to choose what is your audience at first. Because my mistake was that I didn't know Indonesian humor at first, and I didn't know what Indonesian people mostly like. So I didn't know my audience. So I was creating 4 months content without even knowing my audience and try to understand what my audience likes. Even consistency will not help. You need to know what is your audience, what kind of audience you want to reach. This is like the first advice and one of the most important.
Hey guys, just a quick announcement. Don't skip. I'll be running a 3-day workshop called Fast Track to Views and Profits on YouTube. If you ever wanted to start your own channel, this is the best way to do it. You will learn how to choose the most profitable niche and how to beat the YouTube algorithm. You're gonna love it, I promise. Link in description, so sign up if it's for you. And now back to the video.
How would you compare life overall in Europe, in Germany, versus life in Indonesia? Let's say in terms of lifestyle, it's probably pretty different.
I think in Germany it's very boring, I would say. And also in Germany, even I was I was just going back to my country in February. I don't know how, but the German vibe is influencing you. So when I go back to Germany, like in February this year, I was already like in Indonesia for 2 years. And I was so positive, I was always smiling, like I had this Indonesian vibe in myself. And when I go back to Germany, I suddenly stop. Like I suddenly feel depressed and suddenly feel sad all the time. I don't know how it can influence you that much in 2 weeks, but it is. And also a fact that many people unfortunately don't understand that when you go to Germany and you live in Germany, and you get your salary, it's of course much more higher than in Indonesia. But also for example, what you pay in Germany is much more higher. So in the end of the day, it's the same actually, like in Indonesia and Germany. So in Germany you have a high salary, but you also give like your apartment, or the groceries are much more expensive than Indonesia. So let's say in Germany we have a cafe for 10 euro, let's say. And it's like for basic salary is like 1,500 euro. So you give one of your 150 to your coffee shop. Here in Indonesia you can buy a coffee for 2,000, even your salary is 3 million. So it's, to compare, it's like very big. So basically you can afford more living here, even with the like lower like salary, lower income. You can afford much more. Exactly.
And also vitamin D, like always, sunshine. Yeah, people are
Yeah.
smiling.
Of
You
course.
cannot buy it, right? Like.
Of course.
How do you think your personality changed living in Indonesia?
Literally a lot. Like 3 years ago, I was a very different person in Germany. So I will stay all the time in my room, and I will be. It was not very a good time for me in that time, like in that period of time. I was very depressed. I was sad all the time, and I was getting angry by little things. I don't know how it can be that I moved to Indonesia and I'm getting so happy. I don't know how it works. Is it the influence from the people? Is it the food? Is it the vitamin D? I don't know, but it's incredible. It's just incredible.
If you want to hear more stories of inspirational, fun and impactful people, watch the next video. I promise you will enjoy it. No, seriously, you will.